So here I am in my basement, in my office, or my man cave, and I'm studying prophecy. And I'm looking at Ezekiel right now, and particularly Ezekiel 36 through the end of Ezekiel. And pretty much from the time it was written, and I'll look at my chart here to help me be accurate. Pretty much from the time Ezekiel 36 was written to the time it was fulfilled was about 21 to 2300 years. And Ezekiel 36 talks about the land and Israel reestablishing the land, and that happened starting in 1948. And then Ezekiel 37, you have where people are starting to come back into the land from all over the world. And you see that fulfilled. And up until then, they're thinking, maybe the Bible's not true. Maybe it's not being fulfilled. And now you have Ezekiel 38, and you have countries. And I'll give you the names of the countries and then what the countries are today and where they're considered. So you have, in Ezekiel 38, you have Persia, Iran, Gomer, which is Turkey. You have Magog, Rosh, Moshech, and Tubal, the leader of which is Gog. So you have Gog and Magog. Russia today are right where Armenia and Georgia and Azerbaijan are located. Then you have Togarmah, which is Syria. Then you have Cush, which is the Sudan, or really south Ethiopia, but pretty much the Sudan today. Then you have Put, which is Libya. You have Tarshish, which represents Europe. And you have Sheba and Dedan, which is Saudi Arabia. And Ezekiel 38, you can look at it and think, well, that'll never happen. These countries will never get together. The Bible's not true. It never happened. But then looking at my chart here, I have Russia and Turkey forming a treaty in 2017. Then in June of 2020, you have Libya signing a peace treaty with Russia and Turkey. Then you have July of 2020, this year, you have Persia, and which is Iran, and Russia, and Turkey, and Cush forming a coalition or an alliance. Then you have, in August of this year, Gomer, which is Turkey and Greece, tensions over oil. And up until, going back a little bit, 2009, 2010, you would have thought, what would these countries attack Israel for? All they had was falafel and hummus, as one person had said. There was nothing to take. Now, I would attack Israel for the falafel and hummus and the olives, but no country would do so. But you have in 2009, 2010, the discovery of huge amounts of oil and vast amounts of natural gas. And right now in the Eastern Mediterranean, there are more warships than since World War II over this tension with Turkey and Greece. And just yesterday, Turkey declared that Jerusalem is the rightful possession of Turkey. So you have this coalition from Ezekiel 38, which was seen as impossible, now forming, and probably, I would say, by all means, a complete coalition. You are seeing all of these things come together in a very short time. And I need to also tell you, when I was in Israel in 2007 versus Israel 2020, the amount of people who have moved back there is astounding, particularly the land. So back to the oil, you have passages in Deuteronomy 32 and 33 talking about oil coming from rocks, and back in Moses' day, that would have made absolutely no sense. You don't really pull oil from rocks. You get oil from olive trees. And here you are finding oil from rocks, and the riches of darkness is mentioned in the Bible in Isaiah. And you have this oil that they're finding everywhere. Israel has become a superpower and a super resource in the region. And now these countries coming together and wanting the stuff that Israel has. So it'll be interesting in how fast this happens. Anyhow, in Ezekiel 30, it talks about a war where these countries, this coalition that is now together, which is a miracle, will all together attack Israel. And they will lose to Israel. So those of you who don't believe the Bible, it is one of the only books that puts out very specific things and things that are unheard of. It lays itself on the line. So my question is, if you see these countries attack Israel and lose, Russia, Iran, Syria, Turkey, Libya, Sudan, all come together to attack Israel, will you then believe in their Messiah, Jesus? Or will you continue to harden your heart, even though all of these things that the Bible says will happen have or will happen? The choice is up to you. Will you believe when you see these things take place? Have a good day.